going to bring on the caller. Caller, you are now on the line. You care to introduce yourself?
Hello. Since we're discussing the truth and tragic events tonight, I forgot I asked you this question. Do you know the truth about 9/11?
Do I know the truth about 9/11? Well,
Yes.
I can give you my opinion of what happened on
Okay.
9/11. I
All right.
believe that it was a governmental ploy to
Yes.
manipulate the population
Exactly.
and to achieve some of its political goals.
Yeah. Exactly. It was an excuse to invade Iraq and Afghanistan.
I agree. I agree. And why do you believe that is, Colin?
Well, I mean, because everyone knows that the American oil reserves were low in 2000, 2001, so they needed an excuse to raid Middle Eastern countries for the oil. Iraq and Afghanistan were the weakest links.
Wow. I agree. I agree. I also agree that that's what's going on in Africa. They're raping the diamonds, the oil,
Yeah.
everything, all over the world. That's why Russia wants the Ukraine, because of the oil that's there. That's what's going on in Honduras and why these children are coming over here, because of the greed of, the privileged sex.
Yeah, I think
So I agree, and I thank you so much for calling. Is there
you're
anything
welcome.
else you want to share with us?
I want to say about the immigration situation that's also a conspiracy. Obama's letting them in so we can destroy the country and rebuild it as a socialist haven, which is what he wanted all along. So that's why Border
Really?
Patrol is being told to
See, my
stand
take
down.
on that
Yeah.
is that George Bush opened the door for that when he was in office.
Well, I mean, mm,
And he is the one that negotiated those terms and made promises with the people in Central America, and those
yeah,
promises are not being kept now. Right now they're being ravaged by, quote unquote, another drug cartel or drug
yeah,
gangs and
exactly.
all of this here. And they're sending these children over here because of the promises that weren't kept there politically.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the problem is with these immigrants is they're trying to escape child trafficking when we have crime and child trafficking and drug trafficking problems just as bad here in the U.S. We're turning to virtually a third world country now.
Yes,
You know?
but they're sending their children here because the Americans cashed in on their countries politically, and they are
Yeah.
benefiting from it. But the American people have, and the American country has, the American military has. You know, it's just a circular motion. This isn't nothing new. This is what they've all been doing for so long, you know.
Yeah. I mean, it doesn't really matter what, you have to realize it doesn't matter what Obama does, it doesn't matter what Bush does, because the fact is, there's a world government being set up. You can call them the New World Order, the Illuminati, whatever you want to call them. There's people that run every country. You have to realize that.
Oh, yes, the bankers. The bankers run it all.
Yeah, the
They
World
always
Bank.
have.
Exactly. I
Well,
mean,
there are several bankers. To my knowledge, there are several who are in cahoots with each other. Most know the Rockefellers. I think it's the Bloomberg brothers
yeah,
or
Bilderberg,
something like. There
and
you
the
go.
Bilderberg too, yeah.
Yes, yes. So, these are the ones who, and if you control the dollar, then you basically control everything. And right now, they've learned, or they've relearned, or remembered that by controlling the food and the water sources, they can control the people. But what they have forgotten is that when you start hurting the children and the women start standing up, and the men start listening to their women, and they take over the government, and they establish new laws, regardless of what new world order you are trying to establish. ultimately it is the people who are going to. I don't believe the government can rule. I don't believe man can rule over man. I don't believe that in that. I believe that we are each capable of governing our own selves if we get to a point where we know ourselves. First, you have to know yourself. And once you know yourself and you know yourself to be a divine, sovereign person, then it radiates outward and you look at the world differently. Start to make these changes within yourself. They start to ripple outwards. People start to notice. Buzzwords happen, trends happen, because you decided to stand up and be different. What do you think about that?
Well, I mean, yeah, I think that we could definitely rebel and change and stop with the world government that the banks are trying to set up. But I mean, I don't think they can be stopped now. I mean, they pretty much run every country. You know, you see all the events that are being orchestrated. I don't think it can be stopped.
Oh, it can be stopped. It has been stopped. Look at history. There are many times that governments have been stopped. You know, the people have taken over. People say that's enough.
Yeah.
That's enough of the abuse. And we have made the governments our gods. We have given them all the responsibility to look after us. And that is wrong. You know, I look at the agricultural situation and the food situation right now. When the government got into the agricultural, where they no longer allowed the farmers to come up with their own rules and regulations of their own land, when they began commandeering the land from the farmers and regulating what they could grow and what they could not grow and what pesticides they had to use and what could be planted and all of this, everything began to change. Right now, we spend more on war, although we say we spend more on war and preparing for war than we do on having clean water for ourselves. Right now, we don't have clean water coming out of our taps. You know, we don't have the necessary foods that are necessary to build us up and nourish us. We're having to take all these supplements and all of this and all of this and all of this and all of this in order to get what nature provides to us with just the exchange of energy. And so much is being thwarted and you know, reversed and flip-flopped that we as consumers are just sitting back looking back and forth like we're at a tennis match. And it's time to say, wait a minute. You know, if we want peace, then we have to create peace. But we have to stop war. We have to say no. You know, just like the Hobby Lobby thing with them deciding they don't want to pay for abortion. But yet that same money goes into war. Those taxes collected go into war. Those taxes collected go into sanctioning and everything else that you wouldn't want to do with your money, that you wouldn't do yourself, but that the government does in your name. And your money is still going out there to that effort. When these different countries are training, the CIA or different agencies are training these terrorists or counter-terrorists who become terrorists sooner on down the line, our tax dollars do that.
Mm.
So those girls that were taken, our tax dollars gave those rebels the guns to purchase the money to take those girls. You know? And we sit here and we are all outraged, but what more do we do? We need to, just like you and I are sitting here having this conversation, there need to be more conversations like this. There need to be more conversations, and not just talking about the problems, but coming up with the solutions. And when more people get together and put their energy and put their spirits together, ideas come. They come from the ancestors. They come from other dimensions. They come up from your spirit, from your soul, yourself. And things get done. This is the way it always has been. But right now, like I was saying earlier, with all this social media and all this social technology, we don't even say hi to our neighbors. We talk to our children through texting. You know, most of us are so busy working to put a roof over our head, we don't have time to do anything else, and we're so worried about paying this next bill or we're going to be homeless that we don't have time to sit and chit-chat and smile with somebody else. And, you know, those that are struggling, we tell them, get a job.
Yes.
We need to sit down and we need to see each other as human beings. Anything else you want to add?
I just want to say about that whole Al-Qaeda thing. I just found it kind of funny how, you know, every few months or whatever we hear a threat about a terrorist attack that might happen on the U.S. You know, Al-Qaeda's coming. You better give your rights up. Oh, the Taliban's coming. We got to stick our hands down your pants at airports now. Allow TSA to wave guns at innocent people. You know, I'm just saying that just seems kind of fishy to me. That's just my personal opinion.
It's fishy in my opinion too, because don't just look at the isolated situations. Look at it all across the board, all across the world. Like you said, they're trying to establish a new world order. And in this new world order, everybody has to be accountable and accounted for. So that scrutiny of your person, they want you to get used to it because it's just going to increase. You know, it goes to military law. And I'm not inciting riots or people boycotting or any of this. What I'm saying is, as human beings, we need to come together. We need to recognize each other. We need to understand that we're living on one planet, no matter what race we are, no matter whether we're middle income, whether we're poor, or whether we're rich. There's one earth. And everything that we're doing right now is destroying that earth. And there are many of us who are what I call light workers, who are doing what they can, you know, rallying and trying to help. But everybody is still out trying to make a dollar out of it. And when you're doing that, you're not allowing the forces that be to do what they need to do, because you're relying on the exchange of the money energy. And the money energy is what is circulating throughout the world right now in a way that is unhealthy and unnatural. It's not equally distributed, so it's not balanced. So it is an injustice against us, and it causes the injustices. Anything else you want to share?
No, I just want to say, yeah, I think that's about it. I do plan to run for president in 2016. My name is Tim Rowland, and you may see me on the Libertarian ballot. But I don't know if I'll get enough support because, you know, money's all that wins elections nowadays. So, yeah, but hopefully I get some luck. Yeah.
Well, I hope you get all the love you need, and I hope you do as much as you can do, and I hope you make a big difference in this world.
Okay, thank you. All right, bye.
You're welcome. Again, callers, if you want to that I'm going to bring back online. Caller, you are back online. You want to share what you shared in the chat room with me?
Yeah, I forgot to mention this real quick. I just wanted to bring this up. I just saw an article about Homeland Security invading a small town in Illinois, breaking into and damages several houses because they thought that there was child porn on someone's computer in the town. So they didn't even find what they're looking for. So basically, all this is, and all these town raids are accomplishing is just, you know, destroying our civil liberties. But of course, that's what the New World Order wants. You gotta understand that. they want all this to happen. They want us to be scared because there's always men with a gun in our faces, breaking our houses and not getting punished for it. But, I guess that's the world we just live in now. I don't think there's anything we can do about it, sadly. I mean, I'm starting to lose faith personally. That's just me.
Lose faith, beloved. Never lose faith. Know this, okay? And listen to me with your heart. We are energy. Energy cannot be destroyed. If the physical body perishes, the spirit lives on. That energy still lives on, and it is reborn and reorganized, and you come back with old memories and a new body, okay? And each time we come back to evolve and learn over and over. As we look at our species and as our planet in the universal macrocosmic view, of things, we are in our infancy stage still. We are still barely learning to crawl. We aren't walking and ready to run just yet. We have to get there. We have to learn to live amongst each other in peace first before the earth changes can take place that need to take place. There's so much that we have to do, and we have been doing this for millennia now. And the time has come where we're going to receive help. Again, that help is coming. That help is coming in the form of ancestors, in the help of planets aligning, in the help of unveiling and the evolution of our own God gene inside of us. However you need to put that in order to understand what this new age is all about. See, there are many powers that be, but we are never here alone. We have help in the form of guides, in the form of ancestors, in the guide of our own individual personal strength. Have you ever seen those pictures and movies where an accident has happened and a mother needs to get her child out of that car, and she comes up with this superhuman strength to tear the doors off of that or lift that car up or whatever she needs to do? We are capable of great, great things. And when we stop believing that we are so immersed in sin and that we are the scourge of the earth and that we are just here at the of this and that, when we understand the true power of what a human spiritual being fully integrated is all about, this earth will not be anything close to what we know of it. Right now, our minds is trying to catch up with even conceiving a world of peace, a world where everybody is equal, where there is abundance everywhere and lack nowhere. We have to get there. We aren't there yet, but we have to get there. And we have to keep that hope alive within us. And in order to do that, we have to know our own individual strength. And not fear anything. Because what we are a part of is greater than anything that can be created by man. Okay?
Yeah, but I mean, I don't...
Go ahead. What were you finna say?
I was just saying that I don't think, I don't know how we can stand up and stop this when they're trying to take our gun rights away and they're having people storm every small town in the country. And I mean, this isn't just happening in the U.S., this is happening around the world, basically. I don't know how we can stop that no matter what powers we have. We may have powers within inside us, but they have the powers of, they have firepower, and I don't know if much can stop that. I mean,
let me tell you, baby, what you have inside of you, you have telekinetic powers, you have the ability to send pulse waves, everything, every weapon that they created, you are capable of creating, okay?
Uh-huh.
And we just have to get into that groove, so to speak, where we believe in ourselves and we know who we are. It's going to take time, and there are many who are not going to be able to put them shoes on or put them granny panties on. But those of us that can need to man up. Those of us that can need to man up. And we need to lift up each other and support each other. And everybody cannot be the chief. Somebody got to be the Indian. So ego cannot be present in the solutions and resolutions that need to happen. It's going to take maturity. Thank you so much for calling in.
You're welcome.
I have about 9 more minutes, and did you have anything else you want to share?
No, not really. I just want to, plug my tentative 2016 presidential campaign. Tim Rowland 2016. The site's gonna be up shortly, so you can just wait on it. But y'all know how.
All right.
Rowland
2016, y'all. Woo-hoo!
Yeah, Rowland 2016.
Right, brother.
Let's get it, baby. All right, see you.
All right, peace. All right, let's